Well, it's a wonderful day here, considering that the Boston Celtics lost. They lost because the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks roasted them 101-89 in game one of their opening round, second round of the playoff series. And to help us discuss and celebrate what has just happened, he is the Bucks beat reporter for The Athletic, Eric Nehm. Eric, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Eric, what the fuck with the Bucks, man? It's like they come out soft every single game one of the playoffs opening round for the last 4 years. You never know what team is going to show up. Defensively, they're always solid. Let's just let me put that out there. Solid defensively all the time. But they do go through the season and the postseason with this weird, lackadaisical feeling of you really need to put the knife to their throats for them to be at their best. And so, here we are. We're rolling into this second round series, and we're thinking, Boston's been arguably, not even arguably, but probably by the numbers, the best team in basketball for the last, several months. They're hitting their stride. We just watched them defenestrate the Brooklyn Nets. And, we expect them to get a good game out of the Bucks, but maybe to win. And then the Bucks just fucking steamroll the Boston Celtics. I think are still missing shots at this very moment this afternoon. They're somewhere still missing all types of shots. What is it about this team that that makes them so infuriatingly consistently, I don't know. They're just they just drive me crazy. They drive you crazy, Eric?
That's just the beauty of the Bucks. A lot of content at all times. Really, really happy for them to help me out there. But, it's really interesting. During the first round series, I had asked Giannis, hey, do you guys need to lose a game to play hard? Is that something?
Why?
And I honestly felt a little bit bad because I asked it just like that. Do you guys need this? And he goes, no. And then he goes on this long speech about how he likes adversity and adversity brings the best out of you. And I was like, okay, so you do? You do need to lose one, but apparently they don't. Apparently they can come out against the Boston Celtics and take it right to them. It was seriously super impressive. I think for the Celtics, they went from playing, I don't know what the Nets were playing, pickup basketball?
Roll them. Just roll them out and roll it out and let Katie and Kyrie take
Absolutely.
it. Hopefully.
Yeah. So they go from that to playing real playoff basketball. Javon Carter is in your face 94 feet from the basket. Grayson Allen is in your Pat Connaughton. Pat Connaughton? What? Pat Connaughton's giving you the blues? Come on. I don't know if that's how it should go, but the Bucks were ready to go. And it really was a flip the script kind of thing because typically they lose game one by 15 points. Then everyone freaks out and says, oh my God, the Bucks are terrible. And then the next game they come out and smack you because that's just what they do. But this time they decided to flip the script. So who knows what will happen in game two? It's exhilarating.
And you just came from practice. What are the vibes there like?
For them, I think since they've been on the other end of it so many times, of someone answering in game two, they're like, hey, let's just calm down a little bit. It was a good game one, but they're going to be ready in game two. It's only one game. So they are, seasoned veterans in the whole making a comeback thing. So I think they are on high alert that the Celtics, will remember how to play basketball. That seems like something that will probably happen as the series goes. And honestly, they came into this series thinking that this was going to be, a long, drag it out kind of series with these guys. So I do think we're going to see the Celtics be quite a bit better in game two. But, they actually have to do it. And the Bucks will be ready for them.
Yeah, Giannis didn't really even have a good game that first game, stats-wise. So what do they even expect, the Celtics even expect from him coming in? Because they technically did stop him, but Brown also had just a terrible game, so they got to have something figured out for Giannis coming in.
Yeah, I think when you look at the ways teams have tried to stop Giannis over the years, it's a pretty simple formula. You're going to have a bigger, stronger guy on the ball. You're going to have a rim protector waiting for him to clean up all of the Euro steps that he invariably does and all the spin moves that he does. You have that rim protector, and then you have a bunch of annoying players wings, long arms, point guards trying to steal and poke the ball away. The Celtics have all of those things, and they have them in spades. There's just a bunch of guys, even the bench guys can kind of do that to them. So they have all of the tools to make it really tough on Giannis. And, as he said, they've been the best basketball team for the last 3 months in the NBA. So they have all of that stuff ready to go. I thought Giannis struggled with just how physical they were. I think he struggled finding his spots. I think he struggled finding ways through those gaps. But what he didn't struggle to do was dish out a bunch of assists. This entire year, he's been, I think he roasted me after a Nets game one night when I compared one of his passes to Jokic. And he was like, Eric, hey, come on, man. You've been covering me for how long? You don't think I can pass? I can pass. And I was like, okay, that's fair. But that looks like Jokic, man. There are levels to this kind of thing. And he really, I just thought, put on a show on Sunday. Some of the passes he threw, whip pass underneath the basket to Bobby Portis. He threw a couple no-lookers to Grayson Allen. He was diamond.
Since you're on the inside, you have to know. I just want to know, does Jrue Holiday feel a type of way about Marcus Smart winning Defensive Player of the Year for the stuff that he's been doing for the last 5 years? He's got to feel a way about it.
This is probably me just projecting my feelings and hatred of the Celtics on the game, but it felt like Smart was a little taken aback, oh my God, this guy is playing just as hard defense on me as I play on everybody else. He's got really quick hands too. He is extremely strong. Oh, this is going to be different. That's how it felt. Did it feel like that way to you?
Well, so I wrote this big, long story at The Athletic this year about Jrue Holiday and his defense, how good he is at defense. So Jrue sits down with me for 40 minutes and he's telling me all the things that he does well on defense. And he does this thing, and he did it to Marcus Smart on Sunday, where if you're bringing the ball up the court as a point guard, you push really hard into him, and then you're going to do a step-back move to alleviate pressure. Every point guard has learned that move from middle school. Every crummy rec league coach has taught you, this is how you break down pressure. And when you try to do it against Jrue, he just steals the ball. You get into him, and he's just like, no, I got it. I'm just going to take it. And I told Jrue while we were doing it, I was like, I don't know what to call this, man. I've literally just started to call it the Jrue because no one else does it. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then 5 minutes in, he's like, oh, okay, yeah. I do this. And honestly, I probably am the only person that does it. And I was like, yeah, man, you are. And he did it to Marcus Smart. And Jrue is way too chill. He's not the type of dude that gets in his feelings. That's not just who he is as a human being. But yeah, I would think he understands that what he's been doing for the last, decade of his career is exactly the same stuff that Marcus Smart has been doing, except, he's not quite as loud about it. He's a little bit more chill, a little bit more laid back than Marcus Smart, believe it or not. And he just hasn't gotten that same attention. So I think Drew's very aware, but, he'll just take his all defense and, he'll take his championship ring that I got last year and he'll be totally cool with it.
Takeline is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Ooh, woof woof. I want to tell you once again about the easiest and most fun way to spice up your season. It's Underdog Fantasy and their brand new pick'em game. Oh, yeah. Just pick over-under on your favorite or least favorite player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night with Underdog. I call it going doggy style. Sign up now with the code Takeline, and you'll double it. Double what? Your first deposit. They'll double it with $100 in bonus cash. When you make your first deposit of $10 or more, Underdog will double it. Sign up and play today. Let's talk about the rest of that supporting cast. Obviously, Chris Middleton, his status is pretty up in the air. Such an important secondary star for this Bucks team. But you've been getting truly incredible performances from Grayson Allen, who I think shot almost 60% from three in the first round, continued to do that in game one, 3 of 6 from three, doing it on both ends of the floor. Bobby Portis continues to be a cult hero. And then you got a really great game out of Jrue Holiday, who gave you 25 points, and it's great to win a game when you get that kind of scoring out of Jrue. How is this Bucks team going to fill in that scoring hole created by the absence of Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I think I thought it was going to be really tough. Let's just say that, right? Like they played the Bulls in the first round, and that was not going to be difficult. The Bulls are not a very good basketball team.
Right.
But against the Celtics, that's the number one defense. This is going to be really tough. And in game one, essentially, they just let Giannis pick them apart. They kept double teaming Giannis. And that's the big thing is that like Chris Middleton, I think 44% of his made shots this year were assisted. So he's making most of his own shots. Like he's creating his own shots, 5 assists per game. Shot creation is a big thing that Chris Middleton does. These other dudes don't do that. Like they literally wait and say, all right, Giannis, I'm ready. Yep, my hands are ready. Come on, throw it. I got it. It's going up. And that's what they do. And in game one, that's what the Celtics let them do. Grayson Allen just sat there, shooting practice. Bobby Portis sat there, shooting practice. And those guys can do other things. Don't get me wrong. Grayson and Bobby are both willing to put the ball on the deck. But like, if you just let them catch and shoot, they can be perfectly productive NBA players. Like they both shot 40+% from the 3-point line this year. Like if you let them catch and shoot, they can do that. The big question to me is what happens in this playoffs when a defense doesn't let them do it. Like if the Celtics are like, okay, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't send all these double teams to Giannis. Maybe we should just try to be a little bit more solid and make these other dudes do something other than shoot, catch, and shoot threes. We'll see if they can do that though, because as we've seen over the last year, Giannis is the best player on the planet. That's just kind of what he does. You can try just about anything. He's seen it all. He'll still get to the rim. He'll still dunk. He'll still make plays for other people. He can hit a Dirk fadeaway every once in a while. He hits the baseline fadeaway. He's got a bunch of stuff in the tool bag. So I think the first team that can make them do other things is going to be the ones that can actually slow us down, like slow the Bucks down and make us, figure out an answer to that question. Because right now we don't know the answer to that question because everyone's just letting them catch and shoot threes.
Since the Celtics technically didn't have to go against a big in the first series, is the Lopez thing just going to be an issue for them the whole series?
I mean, Brook Lopez, like I just think dude's insanely underrated. He went to the Lakers. He couldn't play defense, and everyone's like, this dude is washed. Like, there's no way. He's got nothing left. And then he came to Milwaukee and was like, oh, he's one of the most impactful defenders in the NBA. Sure. Yeah, this makes total sense. And he's just, like, nothing is easy at the rim. Like, if Jason Tatum comes to the rim, Giannis will be there. And if Giannis isn't there, Brook is going to be there. And if Brook and Giannis aren't there, you know what? Bobby might even be there. And then after that, Grayson and Pat are going to come flying through. Like, no matter what, there's nothing easy at the rim against the Bucks, and a lot of that is Brook Lopez. He's really figured out how to play in this defensive system under Mike Budenholzer. Giannis makes things really incredibly easy for him as well, but like he's super talented. And on the other end, he can post up, he can run to the front of the rim, he can get tip-ins. He used to average 20 a game on hook shots. Like that was it. Like it was like, oh, there's a Brook Lopez post up, baseline spin. Oh, he drop stepped. Oh, he hit a hook shot. Okay, yep. I've seen all of those moves since the 1950s. Like that used to be his game. He can do that. But he also now shoots threes and stuff. So I do think like Brook Lopez is going to be a real problem for the Celtics just because Robert Williams, for as good as he's been all season, he's been fantastic. Like he's just not big enough. Like he's not big enough for Brook. Yeah. And you go down the line, Al Horford, you want him on Giannis, you don't want him on Brook. Like there will be matchup problems.
It's a great point. Let's for a moment touch on the not red flags, but like the some of the warning signs as we head later into the series. Now, the Celtics did miss a ton of threes. They missed 32 threes, took 50, 18 of 50. That's only two less than the Bucks took for the whole game. You would expect they're going to convert some of those. Officiating was, I thought, really, really, obviously fans of the team may disagree, but I thought evenly reserved. Like they let it go. They really let
you guys can play a little bit. It's fine.
They let a lot of shit go, but it was pretty even. Yeah. And to your point, in terms of the way they played Giannis, it was let's double Giannis, let's give him lots of looks, and let's see if these other guys can do anything. Now, these other guys did anything. Do you think the Celtics, what was your sense that you got from the team that the Celtics might say, okay, well, we did the right thing. It just didn't come out the way that we wanted it to. Let's try it again and see if Drew Holiday can drop 25 on us again. Is that what they expect, or they expect some tweaks?
I mean, honestly, I think both teams have the same plan. Like the Bucks, again, for years, literally since Mike Budenholzer's been in town, they will not let the Stars do it. Your others have to beat the Bucks. Those will be the rules. You can shoot 800 threes. They don't care. And a bunch of them are going to be open. They don't care. As long as it's not the Stars shooting, they're cool with it. I think the Celtics feel the same way. Like, as long as Giannis isn't the one scoring 40 points, they're going to say, cool. You know, if Grayson wants to have a big night, if Pat wants to have a big night, we're going to live with that. And I think, honestly, going into the series, that's what I thought. And game one didn't move me off of that in any way. Like, I do think that is the approach for both of these teams. Like, don't let Jason Tatum get loose. Don't let Giannis get loose. And let's see, can Grant Williams hit 6 of 10 threes in a game? Can Marcus Smart, I mean, he jacks him up. So like 7 of 15 in a game. Like, can one of those guys do it? And in game one, the Bucks other guys did it. Like they were totally fine. Giannis got enough and they got through it. And I just think that's how this whole series is going to play out. Like, both those teams are smart enough and well coached enough that the Stars aren't going to get loose, that it's going to have to be other guys.
He is Eric Nehm, Bucks beat reporter for The Athletic.
Thanks,
Eric,
Eric.
thank you so much for joining us. Wait, your predictions for the series.
Oh man.
What do you
so
got?
Before the series, I said Celtics in 7. Like I felt very good about the Celtics. I don't think I'm going to like move off of it all the way. I think it's still going 7. I'll go Bucks in 7 though. Like I think we've seen enough, and I think, you know, you're giving me the opportunity to flip flop. So happy. Like if I get this one wrong, if we get this one wrong,
we have no idea.
The first prediction is the one I did, and if I get this one right, then this was my official prediction. This is a win-win for me.
That's exactly right, Eric. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.